is, can you all see my screen, guys? What I'd like to do is, if we can, how amazing would it be if we can finish like the whole of Brochas, chapter 6, perek, even tonight. I don't know if we'll manage that, but we can, because most of you guys know these things, because you know, but you'll see that all the halachas that you know about Brochas and things like that, it all comes out of the Mishnah. So everybody ready to roll? Let's roll. So says the Mishnah. It's Mishnah. I started with chapter 6 just because it's quite easy and you guys will be able to easily understand it. And then if we can finish the whole of Brachot, unbelievable, then we'll go to the next Masechta. Even though, and those who may have done it before, it's always good to learn, to do Chazarah. It's always good to do repetition. Are you ready? So says the Mishnah, Keitzad Mavarchin, what bracha do you make? Al HaPeirot. Peirot are fruit. You all know that. So now, when we speak about Peirot, there are two types of Peirot. There's the Peirot that come, there's the fruits that come from a, guys, 1 second. They're the fruits that come from the trees and the fruits that come from the ground. Okay, I've got Rafaela and asking a question. Yes.
When we finish each one, are you going to tell us how many we've done?
Yeah, I'll tell you all. Don't worry, you can count them as well. Don't worry about all of those. You just learn. Okay. Who else had a question? Was that it? Great, let's go. So, Kaitan Mavarchim ala Peirot, what bracha do you make on fruit? Al Peirot ha'ilan, on the fruit of the tree. So that's like apples and oranges and nice nectarines and all those things. What bracha do you make? We know. Borei peri ha'etz. Baruch atah Hashem Elokeinu melech haolam, borei peri ha'etz. Except, says the Mishnah, chutz, which means except min hayayin, except for wine. Why? Because what bracha do you make on wine? She'ala yayin omer borei pri hagafen. Because on wine you say, what bracha? Borei pri hagafen. Now you all know that, but I want to ask you a question. Right? The Mishnah said that on the fruit that grows on the tree, you make this bracha. All of a sudden, the Mishnah now said, on wine, you make a bracha which is different from the normal bracha that you make on the fruit of the tree. Arya Hamel, does wine grow on trees?
No.
So what does the Mishnah mean? What do you mean on wine, which you make a you make a different bracha? Obviously, you make a different bracha. What bracha do you make on orange juice, guys?
Shako.
Cool, correct. So if you make a different bracha on orange juice, why would you not make a different bracha on wine? Because wine isn't what grows on the trees. Wine is from the grapes, and you squeeze the grapes, and out comes the wine, right? So you know why? I'm going to tell you something very important. Because the truth is, you know what really grows on the grapevine? Is not the grapes. Because the grape is not that important without the fact that it can make the wine. The reason why HaKadosh Baruch Hu created grapes was in order for us to have wine. And wine is so important because when wine, we make kiddush on wine, make all these different things. We always use wine. So on wine is so important. It's really like the real fruit, but it's like wrapped up in the grape. That's the special bracha of borei peri hagefen. It's not the same as borei peri ha'etz, but it's a special one that you make on the special fruit of the geffen. A geffen is a vine. Okay. Val peirot haaretz. What about the fruit of the ground? Omer, you say borei pri adama. You say borei pri adama. You all know that, except from chutz min hapat. Pat means bread. She'ala pat omer, on pat, on bread, you say hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Hashem brings out bread from the ground. So let me find somebody else who I can pick on. Jonah Hoffman. Does bread grow on the ground?
No, but it grows from the wheat that comes from the ground.
Thank you. So what the same? Can you see it's the same question in the Mishnah? The wine doesn't grow on the trees, and bread doesn't grow on the ground. And I want to tell you something else, guys. Can you see this bracha? Hamotzi lechem min haaretz. That Hashem brings lechem, bread, from the ground. Now, is that correct or not correct?
Sort of.
It's sort of. Well, who brings the bread from the ground? No one. Bread doesn't grow in the ground. Bread grows, as Jonas said, it comes from the wheat. And then you take the wheat and you got to go do all different things in order to make bread. You got to do things to the wheat. You make it into flour. Then you take the flour and you knead the flour and you put it in the water. And then you do whatever you need. You make it rise and then you take it out. Then you put it in the oven. And eventually you get bread, right? So what do you mean Hashem is motzi lechem min haaretz? So I'll tell you this very important thing. What it means is that Hashem creates the potential for bread in that small little wheat kernel. Can you imagine? In that small little wheat kernel is the potential for bread, and bread we know is the thing that people eat all over the world in order what? In order for them to be able to be alive. So in the small little kernel, in the small little thing of wheat, is all the potential to have bread. That's like us, guys. In all of our small little beings, there's unbelievable potential that we can do incredible things. Now I see that Rafaela has got her hand up. I'm going to take your question now. I just want to finish the Mishnah, then we can say we've done at least one Mishnah. Let's go. Va'ala yerakot. And what are yerakot, guys?
Vegetable.
Veggies. Oime berei pri adama. You also make berei pri adama. And comes along Rabbi Yehuda, he says, you know what? No. Rabbi Yehuda Omer, Borei minei desaim. He says that some vegetables, you eat the vegetable, the root. Some vegetables, you eat the leaves. So depending on the vegetable will depend on the bracha that you make. So desaim means different type of grasses, different type of vegetables. Some people eat some people eat lettuce and some people eat carrots. It says Rabbi Yehuda. Now we don't hold like Rabbi Yehuda. We say on all vegetables, berei pri adama, right? But Rabbi Yehuda is saying, but you've got to be more specific. You've got to be careful. From the tree you say berei pri ha'etz. From the ground you say berei pri adama. If it's grass you must say berei minei desaim. All different types of things. Because Rabbi Yehuda says you've got to be specific. Okay, Rafaela, you had a question. What would you like to ask, Don?
But are like all drinks the same bracha, like for alcohol, except for grape juice and wine?
Yes. Every single thing that you drink will be shehakol.
Except what about wine?
Except for grape juice and wine. Yeah, like you said, exactly what you said. Excellent question. Okay. Guys, one Mishnah down. Okay. One more step closer to burger and brew. Let's go. We're going to go to the next bracha. You ready? The next Mishnah. Are you ready? Barech ala peirot. Now, what happens if you make a mistake? What happens if barech ala peirot, you've got apples and you say, oh, look at this beautiful apple. What bracha are you supposed to say on the apple? Borei pri ha'etz, right? So what happens if you make borei pri adama?
You have to say Baruch Shem Kavod Malchut Olam Va'ed.
So that's the question. If you make the wrong bracha, if you say, and listen carefully because it's not all the same. If you make on things that come from the tree, if you make borei pri ha'adama, says the Mishnah, yatsa, you have fulfilled your obligation of saying the bracha. Okay, and you can eat it. But says the Mishnah, if you make on peirot haaretz, if you make on a carrot, you're about to eat a carrot, and you say, is that the right bracha or the wrong bracha? It's completely wrong. Because while, the trees are attached to the ground, correct? That's why you can make borei pri adama on fruit. But vegetables do not grow on trees. So therefore, says the Mishnah, lo yatsa. You do not fulfill your obligation. Oh, why is it not working? You do not fulfill your obligation of the bracha if you make the bracha of borei pri hadama. Of borei pri ha'etz on adama things. Lo yatsa. You do not fulfill your obligation. Okay, Doroni, yes.
If you by mistake say borei pri ha'etz on a banana, is that considered not fulfilled?
So that is an excellent question. Why? Because it looks like bananas grow on a tree, but they don't actually. A banana tree is really considered to be, as you know, that's why I make berei pri adama, like a vegetable. So the answer would be no. You would not fulfill your mitzvah. You'd have to say it again. And for those of you who didn't hear, when we spoke about on Pesach, we said that a long, long time ago in America, they used to use for karpas, they used to use bananas so that people would learn that the bracha on banana is berei pri adama. Quite interesting, that, I think. Okay, let's go. We nearly finished the Mishnah. Al kulam, on everything.
Rabbi Altman.
Yes, young lady, young man, young old. Who's it?
Is
that you?
What do you say on a tomato? Because it's a fruit, but it grows on the ground.
That's a superb question. It's a fruit in terms of what it is, but in the terms of the way that it grows like a vegetable. It's the same as a banana. Okay. Because what happens is that it grows in a like a vine, like a bush. So the thing that's different between that and a normal tree is that a tree is always rooted in the ground, whereas those, they die and then they start again. And that's why I make berei pri adama on those things. Very good question. Okay, can I carry on? Anyone, any more questions, guys? Happy to take as many as you ask. Okay, so al kulam, on everything. If it's berei pri adama or it's berei pri, it's on everything. Im amar shehakol. If you would say the bracha of shehakol, yatsa, you would fulfill your obligation. You wouldn't have to make another bracha. But what's very important, guys, is to understand the following. And that is that even though you can make a shehakol on something, if you're not 100% sure of the bracha, that's not the correct way to behave. The correct way to behave is always to find out really what the proper bracha is to say on different things, and then make that bracha. Okay, you don't just make brachas of shehakol because you're not sure of the bracha. Find out. Phone me. Ask your parents. Someone should be able to help you on making those brachas. Okay, so let's try, guys. We've got 5 more minutes. We have so far done 2 mishnayos. It's amazing. 2 mishnayos. Let's go. Al davar, says the next Mishnah, Mishnah Gimel. Al davar she'en gidulo min haaretz, something which is ein, which means not, gidulo min haaretz, it does not grow on the ground. Give me an example of something that doesn't grow from the ground. Somebody. Come on, guys. Just answer. Yes, Yoda, don't put up your hand, buddy. I can't see everyone because my screen shared. Yoda, what?
Apple.
But that doesn't grow from the ground. Ground tree is the same thing, right? Something that doesn't grow from the aretz. What else? Give me an example. What are you eating now? Somebody was eating.
Water.
Water doesn't grow on the ground. Very good. Someone else, give me another example.
The man didn't grow from the ground.
The man didn't grow. That's an excellent question. Yes. What else, guys?
Animals.
Animals. So if you're having a steak, meat, fish, sweets, chocolates, you got the idea. Great. So those things. Davar she'ein gidulo min haaretz, something that doesn't grow from the ground. What bracha do you say? Omer shehakol. You make shehakol. Simple as that, right? Omer shehakol. Now listen carefully. This is great. Ala chometz. Chometz is vinegar. Can you eat chometz? Can you eat vinegar? Not really.
No, not really.
Not really, huh? Va'ala novlot. Novlot are fruit that are not yet 100% ripe. Va'ala govai, and on grasshoppers. Can you imagine eating a grasshopper? Do you know that there are some kosher grasshoppers? Did you know that, guys? Did you know that? Oops.
Yeah, I knew that.
Isn't that crazy? Kosher grasshoppers. Can you imagine eating a grasshopper? I'm going to try to find you a picture of what a kosher grasshopper looks like. Because there are some people still today that do eat kosher. Oh, here we go. I'll show you a picture. I'm going to share my screen again. Let me just stop this
Rabbi
one.
Altman,
Yes.
have you ever tasted a kosher grasshopper before?
No, I haven't. I haven't.
Then
And I'm
here,
not.
taste
Look
it.
here. Can you see this picture, guys? Let's see if I can find them. Look at that. You see that? Can you see that picture? Okay, that's the one picture. Then check at this. Where's the other picture I saw? Oh, no, it's not here. It's great. So can you imagine that? Imagine eating a grasshopper. That is so gross. Okay, let's carry on. I want to carry on with the Mishnah. Okay, so on grasshoppers, on I've done this already. On grasshoppers, on all those things, what do you say? Says the Mishnah. The Mishnah says, share your screen. And the Mishnah says, anovlot v'ala govai are grasshoppers. Omer, what bracha would you make? Shehakol. Okay. Ala chalav is milk. V'ala gvina is cheese. V'ala beitzim, and on eggs. Omer, shehakol. We know that. It's amazing. Look at this. We're learning this in the Mishnah. We know the stuff already. Now listen carefully. Rabbi Yehuda Omer. Certain things you don't make brachas on. Anything which is like a kind of a curse, you don't make a bracha on. I want to ask you a question. Do you think that if you are not sick and everything's okay and you decide you're going to eat treif food, not kosher food, do you think you should make a bracha or not? What do you think, guys?
No.
Good. Anyone else? Why do you think not, Yehuda?
Because we don't know the bracha for it because it's not kosher. We haven't learned the stuff, the brachas we make on non-kosher food are.
But what happens if you have a bracha on, let's say, non-kosher steak? Sorry, you have a non-kosher steak.
But Rabbi Altman,
yes.
we say a bracha on food to thank Hashem. So if we're eating non-kosher, why would we make a bracha to thank Hashem for it?
Seems a bit strange, hey?
Yeah.
Have you heard the word hypocritical? Have you heard what a hypocrite is? Right? So it seems to be really strange. So how can we possibly say a bracha? It's like mocking Hashem. Hashem, you gave me everything, but you know what? I'm eating the treif food. It's a bit strange, right? So therefore, we need to remember, and also when we make brachas, it's not only just to thank Hashem. What we're also doing is we're bringing like the Shekhinah into the world. So if you bring the Shekhinah into the world and you're eating treif food, it's not really lekker. So guys, remember, we have learned how many Mishnayos, guys? Power.
3.
3 Mishnayos. Put it down on your list. You learned 3 Mishnayos tonight. We are going to finish, please God, perek vav, maybe even tomorrow. And if not tomorrow, we'll finish on Wednesday. And then you can start jotting up to as many Mishnahs as you can to keep your Mishnah mania going. God bless, guys. Have a beautiful day.